that virtual reality is an art form. We started with moving pictures, then came sound, then came color, then came CGI, then came 3D. It's always been about putting us into the movie.
We're in fledgling stages of this stuff, and I can't even imagine 10 years from now where we'll be.
We need more creatives and filmmakers getting involved.
How do we make use of VR and yet retain this idea that a story is told of someone else? You will immediately get into virtual reality and say, I need a reason for why I'm here. How do all of those narrative devices that we use in film translate to VR? How does acting work? How do you compose? How do you light? How do you set dress? One thing we did try was this concept of cuts. In virtual reality, you are the camera, so it's more like a teleport instead of a cut. And we found that when you teleport someone, it's jarring. Those are problems that have been solved many times over in filmmaking and are completely new and different in virtual reality.
No one knows what the language and what the grammar of VR storytelling is.
Cinematic VR is essentially a branch of virtual reality that's not focused on video games, but it's really focused on video per se.
The VR experience is a whole new different way of experiencing narrative that hasn't been explored yet. There's every kind of genre out there we can apply this kind of technology to and tell it in a completely different way.
I think you're bleeding.
This one's in the horror genre.
Well, that was terrifying.
Jaunt is betting that we're going to get hooked on that kind of experience, an experience that's about to become accessible to pretty much everyone.
There are a lot of exciting things that are going to be happening soon in the VR space. One of the most interesting is mobile VR. That is, being able to experience VR on your smartphone. It really makes VR accessible to a large number of people. And as this reaches a broader and broader audience, there are obviously great opportunities to build out a business delivering content to consumers.
This is not a business of motion pictures. This is a business of emotion pictures. And technology is never going to hurt your creativity. It's going to be a tool to push you forward. And every year there's 50,000 students that graduate from film school and 100,000 screenplays that float around the Hollywood ecosystem. And last year there was only 687 motion pictures made. That's chasing rainbows. The odds are stacked against you. And I believe this is going to help turn the scale and give you the power to express yourself. And I never want to go to a restaurant again and meet some kid in film school or some struggling waiter who gives me a broken story about how he's trying to get something made. That's the story I never want to hear.
And that's the ultimate goal of a lot of stories, is to enhance people's lives.